Man, you know that guy lives down the road? What was his name? He had that weird shaped head.
Peyton.
Oh yeah. What kind of name is that? Exactly. I always could support the weight of a walrus. Do you know the energy portrayed by a walrus body?
On the news, but a UFO captured like 10 kids.
I didn't believe it, man. It's just bull.
What? Yeah, those kids was my cousin. It was real.
Oh, okay. I'm sure you just ran away. Because your mom would let him play Xbox.
Just like walrus is the quarterback. Don't have him.
Exactly.
So we want to go check what's inside?
Alright.
See what's on the
Yeah,
guard?
let's watch that movie.
Alright, you boys, I got this. Come on. Come here with me.
Put that movie anyway.
I don't know. Somewhere.
It's already in the DVD player, man.
Special resin, and in about 30 minutes, it's virtually invisible.
Dude, this better be a sick movie, man.
I heard it was good.
Transporter 2.
Man, you can't put it up on the couch, dude. There's new couches.
Man, come on.
Don't smack me. Holy crap, do you see? Oh my god, dude, that was sick!
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
That was real. Like, can you imagine being in that car?
Can you imagine that cannot happen? That was unrealistic.
Okay, dude, do you see that? I will bet you $150. You know, I'll even up it. $174. That is what's on my debit right now. That is real.
Hey, $50, I'll give you that.
$50. All right,
$50.
You're on.
Any last request before I shut down the little faces?
You know what, dude? I do have a last request. Since you're being so rude, just barging in my room here, trying to enjoy a movie. Me and my friend here, we got a little bet. And you know what? I'd like to know the answer to this so I could be $50 richer. Now, I'd like you to tell me, is this scene possible?
Okay then.
Alright. Let's go!
Hello and welcome to our program. You're watching The Physics of Things with your host, me, that creepy serial killer. Today we're going to investigate a scene from The Transporter 2 in which a car crashes through a concrete wall, jumps over a street, and lands on a building on the opposite side of the road. Whoa! Don't try that at home, kids. It could be dangerous. So, our main goal is to find out whether or not this car can jump from one building to another and land safely. Before we do anything, though, we're going to have to make a simple prediction of what will actually happen based on our own knowledge. Now, I would guess myself that the occupants of the car would crash into the ground and explode, leaving no survivors. This scene seems quite unrealistic to me. In order to do this efficiently, we're going to have to calculate the distance that the car would travel in the X direction to see if it will actually land on the other building. or just explode in a fiery blast of death, killing everyone in the car. I would love to see that. So, let's get started with our physics calculations. By looking at this frame from the video clip, it appears that the car drops about 5 stories from its original building before landing on the building across the street. So we guess that this would be around 50 feet, or 15.24 meters. So, our distance in the y direction comes to negative 15.24 meters. Our acceleration in the y direction is negative 9.80 meters per second squared, as it is always, as that is the gravitational constant. Our v1 in the y direction is 0, because the car leaves the building at a perfect flat angle. Our acceleration in the x direction also equals 0. However, our velocity in the x direction is about 50 miles per hour, which comes to 22.3 meters per second. And all these numbers are going to be put into a calculation which will help us find dx, distance the car travels in the x direction. In order to find dx, we're going to use the formula dx equals vx times delta t. But we don't know delta t. So before we do that, we're going to have to use a different calculation, which would be dy equals 1/2 ay times delta t squared. So let's start plugging these numbers into our formulas and calculate exactly what we need to know. Okay, we're done. Now let's look at what we have. Turns out that delta t equals 1.76, which would be 1.76 seconds the car is in the air. Now that we have delta t, we can plug it into our second formula, dx equals vx times delta t. Now let's do that and calculate our results. Wow! dx happens to turn out to be 39.2 meters. From looking at the video, and knowing the fact that most New York streets are about 150 feet wide, we guess that the distance from one building to another is about 45.7 meters. And our car ends up traveling a final distance of 39.2 meters in the x direction, which means he just falls short of making his jump and surviving the stunt. This proves that the car would fall short of where it landed in the clip, proving that this stunt is impossible. And not to mention that he also crashes through a wall before even reaching the air, which would probably slow him down greatly, or maybe even just stop him from moving altogether. So, in conclusion, our prediction was correct, and the car does not make its final jumping distance of 45.7 meters, but falls short by 6.5 meters, and only travels 39.2 meters in the x direction, which would mean it would just hit the ground and die. Thanks for watching. I'm that creepy serial killer, and tune in next week when we investigate some other crazy physics-based problems. But now it's time for me to go chop some freaks into little pieces. So see you later!